India has suspended all imports from Pakistan. Prime Minister Modi government has decided India does not need any Pakistani goods, nor will India pay any money to terror state Pakistan. Reports reveal how New Delhi is exporting essential goods to Islamabad, but imports from the troubled neighbor have fallen to zero. Figures from the first 5 months of the current financial year reveal no imports by India from the Islamic nation. Now, this is a major turnaround. Since 1996 to 2019, Pakistan had enjoyed the status of most favored nation, but not anymore. While India exported $235 million worth of goods to Pakistan this year, primarily sugar and pharmaceuticals, New Delhi imported nothing from Pakistan. An official on the account of anonymity told the Hindustan Times about Narendra Modi-led NDA government's uncompromising stance, saying, quote, "Trade and terror do not go simultaneously. If Pakistan needs good trade relations with India, it must stop exporting terror." India is a reliable supplier of goods and services for all major global economies. Hence, most of the countries want to have better bilateral relations with India. Pakistan is left out because of its own deeds, unquote. He reiterated that India is willing to address all issues bilaterally in an atmosphere free of terror, hostility and violence, saying, quote, "The onus is on Islamabad to create such a conducive atmosphere," unquote. But how did India-Pakistan trade reach its current state? Due to increased anti-India activities by Islamabad and cross-border terrorism, trade between India and Pakistan has been on a downward trajectory. The turning point came in 2019 after the Pulwama suicide attack, resulting in the death of 40 Indian security personnel. After links to Pakistan were firmly established, New Delhi revoked its most favored nation status. The Modi-led government even slapped a 200% import duty on any Pakistani products in retaliation to the Pulwama attack by Pak-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists. In the same year, India accused Pakistan of smuggling narcotics and weapons, terror financing and money laundering in Jammu and Kashmir and suspended all cross-LOC trade as well. Former Finance Minister of India, Arun Jaitley, had said back then, quote, "MEA will initiate all possible diplomatic steps which are to be taken to ensure the complete isolation from the international community of Pakistan, of which incontrovertible evidence is available of having a direct hand in this act," unquote. India made it clear it will not engage with Islamabad anymore, and trade ties have been on a downward spiral ever since, now reaching zero in 2024. Now, gone are the days when India kept trade and sports away from political turmoil and cross-border terror. Today's India is far more proactive. While all imports stand suspended, even bilateral cricket ties have been unofficially banned. The Pakistani government, to save face, claims it reduced trade with New Delhi after the Indian government abrogated Article 370 in Kashmir, but the fact remains, Pakistan is still desperately seeking Indian products and imported $235 million worth of goods this year itself from India. However, that still is far below 2018-19 financial year, when India exported goods worth $2.7 billion to Pakistan, while imports from Pakistan totaled $495 million. Post-2019, India's imports from Pakistan experienced a steep decline of 97.2%, while exports to Pakistan also dropped by 60.5%. Pakistan is feeling the brunt of the suspension of trade ties with India. Earlier this year, Pakistani Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar had to admit, quote, "Pakistani businessmen want trade with India to resume. We will seriously look into matters of trade with India," unquote. After all, India is the fastest growing economy in the world and will be the third biggest global economy before 2030. While India's GDP is nearly $3.9 trillion, Pakistan's GDP is in 2024 valued at $374 billion, which is more than 10 times smaller than India. For an economy like Pakistan's, which is reliant on foreign aid, trapped in debt, facing declining living standards, sky-high inflation, struggling industries, and increased unemployment, missing out on trade with neighboring India is a significant setback. Pakistan stands to gain much more from trade with India, as per a 2018 World Bank report. But what's in it for India? Now, there is absolutely no economic incentive for India to restart trade with Pakistan, as the latter would always remain a less than marginal player for New Delhi. For example, in the financial year 2022-23, India's total foreign trade was $1.6 trillion, out of which India's exports to Pakistan were only $627 million, or 0.1% of India's total exports. Meanwhile, imports from Pakistan that year made up only 0.003% of total imports by India. The numbers only imply that Pakistan is irrelevant to India in terms of economic gains and brings absolutely nothing to the table. So do you support Modi government's move of suspending imports from Pakistan? Leave a comment below, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.